Hello and welcome once again to Bits and Pieces, the friendliest cricket podcast. Now, as far as categories of awards for podcasts go, friendliest cricket podcast is as random as it gets. It's like the Fair Play Award in the IPL, which exists merely to give RCB fans some hope of winning something, and then even that hope is cruelly crushed. It's like the award for best, say, most photogenic politician whose face you want to watch instead of your National Space Agency's historical moon landing. But well, friendliest cricket podcast indeed. And we are back to talk cricket on a week when, like proverbial London buses, after many, many weeks of inaction, plenty happened in Indian cricket. And to talk about news from the Asia Cup, the World Cup, the selection committee, the yo-yo test fitness Instagram challenge, and a nice little Mankad to round things off on the on-field action, this gang is back. And let me introduce today's friendliest friends. To start off, I'm sure you've all heard the Kacha Badam song that went viral a couple of years back, featuring a Bengali seller of almond and cashew nuts and seeds. Interestingly, East Bengal, also known as Bangladesh, is very popular for badam. They have a graph of the price of almonds in their country, and it's been going up. It's a graph of the price of nuts, a nut graph that's been on the ascendancy in Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Praveen Gopalkrishnan, PGK of the nut graph fame. PGK of the nut graph fame. PGK also, when he isn't being the foremost business thought leader in India and Southeast Asia, is a massive, massive Bangladesh nut. What's up, PGK?
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Nitin. I just saw that you said PGK thrice, repeating. I felt like a South Indian.
PGK has spent Sunday morning playing some friendly box cricket where he failed with the bat. We don't know if he showed up, out of turn to bat up the order, etc. But he also bowled a very containing spell of off-spin, restrictive spell of off-spin bowling. If that reminds you of some cricketer that PGK has spoken about in the past, then that's merely coincidence.
Yeah, let me also say that I tried to Mankad someone on the non-striker side, and they were like, "This is really against the spirit of box cricket," and I was like, "Fine, okay."
Hey, and this episode is actually Kutti story.
A box cricket is actually very tricky to do a Mankad, right? Because the popping crease, there are actually two creases. There's one crease for the bowler and one crease belongs to the batsman. But so the line actually doesn't belong to the umpire. It belongs to the bowler and the batsman separately.
And you can't think outside the box.
Oh.
Chop.
All right. If PGK is Bangladesh, our next friend on the pod today is without doubt the Nepal of the Asia Cup lineup. Because like the Buddha who was born in Nepal, he is mostly in Zen mode and very calm. He is never stressed and is ever resting. And well, he also travels to Nepal now and then on work. So people, please say hello to Abhishek Chopsy Chopra.
Hello.
Hello. Actually, this is the first time I'm finding out that he's traveling to Nepal on work. Really?
Sir, you only know found out random. You only know found out that Samir Mohan has moved to Chennai. He moved like some agent putting like 25 updates on the group that he's moving. Yeah. Chopsy is a world traveler, boss. He's where are you today, Chops? Today is Bombay. I can see.
Today is Bombay.
Yeah. He's painting the town red in Kathmandu. So.
Nehru boat race also.
Oh yeah.
Painting the town wooden.
You want to say friend... that's what she said, Samu? You want to say it? Say it.
I only.
He only wants to say.
No, what the hell? This is apne muh Miya Mittu territory. So I'm just gonna shut up at this point.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's very timely. Our next friend on the pod can make a long rambling point on pretty much any topic under the sun, including on topics that are technically not even under the sun, but floating somewhere in the outer rims of free space where black holes are pressing calculators to check the net run rate of their team's qualification chances into the playoffs in a bilateral tournament where there are actually no playoffs. Our next panelist, long rambling arguments. Like the previous sentence, keep going on and on and on like the Sri Lankan national anthem. Say hello to Samir Sri Lanka Mohan back on the pod once again.
Hello. That was short.
Oh, weird flex, but okay. Unlike the other pretenders on this group, our next panelist is an actual cricketing talent. He plies his wear every weekend at the Loda Community Club Sorry, that's Lodha, right? Sorry, I said Lodha. Doesn't sound good. He plies his wares every weekend at the Lodha Community Cup in Bombay. He also plays some semi-professional club cricket, as he told us on the podcast last week, clubs that have more coherent cricket strategies than the Indian cricket team. Only one team can do more interesting selections than India. And well, we all know which one that is. When Pakistan's Hal takes over and they get on a winning spree, there is certain inevitability to the outcome. In a sense, you can predict the outcome well in advance. Sandeep, this podcast version of Pakistan is a bit different because on our WhatsApp group, he repeatedly shown a special ability to predict outcomes as soon as they have actually materialized. Hello, Sandeep ji. How is the Hal?
Thanks, Nitin. I'll prove today that some of the things are scripted.
Oh, this is going to be a classic.
With preparation.
Script padh ke.
Super. So let's begin, guys. For several episodes leading up to this one, this podcast has been lamenting the absence of tickets for the upcoming ICC Cricket World Cup. Well, that wait is indeed over, for ticket sales opened this week. And well, for some games, ticket sales are already over. Book My Show has declared that it has sold out the entire ground for Pakistan's games against Australia, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and New Zealand. Cricket is dying? Not a chance in hell. Not in India, where neutrals are going to show up to watch Pakistan play a bunch of games against other teams. Guys, have you all been refreshing Book My Show, trying to book tickets for this World Cup?
It's worse than Tatkal at this point. I mean, Pakistan versus Afghanistan getting sold out within like 15 minutes it's just, it's just a big bullshit alert at this point.
Bullshit alert.
It only has to. Only one of the two things can be possible. One is a significant amount of Pakistanis have gotten visas to travel to the World Cup, which I think is harder than as it seems like it could be, or the released quota or the amount of tickets that were out are like ridiculously low number and in the low thousands. So probably whoever had an access to an internet, which is quote unquote the California cricketing fans, could be in Chennai could be the ones who booked it. Only two explanations.
Chennai. Why only Chennai?
Other games also, but I'm specifically talking about Pakistan versus Afghanistan, because I think I remember checking it at 8:15ish. I think the tickets released at 8, and 8:15ish you were not able to select or even go through to the booking or the credit card thing, right? So yeah,
maybe
well, somebody also.
Maybe that was the effect of the second ODI, which was very close.
Scripted. But वो correlation causation territory में चला जाता है ना यार. Second ODI by then had not been over or something, right? Or was it the day?
Wow, we are dealing with this very logically. Okay. I'll start. Okay, so first is that I don't know if people remember this, but Pakistan actually, just when the World Cup schedule was being decided, which we hope is decided now, we are still not sure, because even now some people are asking, I think was it Hyderabad last week we discussed, they said that famously in Mayur's words, bandobast nahi kar sakte. So they basically said we can't do it. So everyone is like trying to figure out, okay, this is it. This is the final schedule. But one of the last things that the Pakistan, PCB did was they requested ICC to change the venue of the game against Afghanistan. So they wanted to play Afghanistan in Bangalore and they wanted to play, I believe, Australia in Chennai. Right now it's in the other way around. So essentially, even Pakistan does not want, forget Indian fans, even Pakistan team doesn't want to come to Chennai. They're like, don't want to play Rashid Khan in Chennai. This is not what we are going to have. But yeah, but I guess now tickets are sold out. I really love how Samir is basically discussing how the reason why tickets are sold out is because people got on internet. A lot of Pakistani people came on internet and decided, boss, forget Pakistani visa. Pakistani, they won't get OTP'd. What will they book tickets? How will they book tickets? The whole thing is apparently you need an OTP to book tickets. So I don't know. Even international people cannot book tickets. So these are all crazy Indian fans who have bought tickets.
Or only like 4 tickets went on sale in each of these rounds, and the message is not being updated. So people actually don't know. Somebody also posted on Twitter that Mastercard, there is a Mastercard quota of tickets.
I was going to get to the Mastercard thing. So it started off by saying, so normally what happens is whenever they start opening tickets, they usually start off in other places, normal places. They say it is for members only, it is for First is for member only sale. Then after that, you will go into general public. Even general public, there's usually like a wait list, long list, all of that stuff. None of that. This time they are like, we will start sales with people who have Mastercard cards. Now here's the problem. Okay, so first
Mastercard Premier cards, PGK. They started
Mastercard
with that.
Premier. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think anyone saw the Premier. So it was Mastercard Premier. No, the thing is, no one knows what is a Mastercard Premier card, because you have banks from your cards are usually like HDFC gives your card, ICICI gives you, like, what is a Mastercard Premier card? Why would Mastercard ever get in touch with me? So people are running around trying to figure out, am I Mastercard Premier? Are you Mastercard Premier? Who is a Mastercard Premier? They're calling up Mastercard. Mastercard is like, what is this? So all of this nonsense going on. And finally, poor Vipul. So Vipul is the guy who's like really, really into it. So he has come on this podcast before. And Vipul, after a lot of like research, finally DMs me on WhatsApp like one night, and he says, PGK, I'm just telling you, it is any Mastercard. I said, okay.
I think Mastercard people only realized, okay, they only allocated 4 tickets per match to this to us anyway. This, if we put another restriction, say only people with Mastercard Premier cards, then yeah, that's going to.
Hey, and just to get to a very serious logical point, and I think you can link a nutgraph piece to this. Mastercard, I think, wasn't allowed to issue credit cards for the longest period of time till like say late 2022 or early 2023, which is when a lot of Visa cards were issued, right? Due to some regulations. So I think for the longest time, a lot of the new people who came who got a credit card during the pandemic or the lockdown never actually had a Mastercard. So who was it then? Right? Like
it's okay. We don't need those people. These are the people who basically watch like Dhoni play, and then they're like, oh, was Sachin that good? I mean, he can't be a bigger star than Dhoni. Dhoni is a big star. I'm like, fucker. Okay. Do you know anything? So, yeah.
Now, you see the neat irony of this. If you are living in India, you need a Mastercard to get tickets. But if you live outside India, you need Mastercard and Visa to come and watch the World Cup.
And you also need OTP.
Yeah. poor Zainab. I mean, thoughts and prayers with her if she ever wants to come watch a match in India.
So apparently Mastercard sent out an email to all their customers at 6:05 p.m. after tickets went on sale and was sold out by 6:03 p.m. So this was
See, this I know why. This I know why it happened. I'll tell you why. The reason why it happened is because their digital marketing team decided that, see, tickets are going to sell on 6 o'clock. What if people don't know? Let us do one push marketing campaign just in case people are not aware. So at that point of action, they'll be able to act. So what did they do? They scheduled email. When did they schedule email? They schedule email for 6 o'clock. Because they said, oh, when email goes, except they don't realize that when you schedule email at a certain time, most email providers, if you have a massive list especially, it takes close to like 5 to 7 minutes for your emails to percolate to everybody. It doesn't come instantly.
Absolutely.
So one marketing fellow decided 6 o'clock, scheduled, went to sleep, and was like, very, very happy. I did my job. It's done. That is why the email came at 6 o'clock, 6:05, saying that, hey, you can buy now. Where? So
I thought PGK is saying that their office internet was slow.
Yeah, probably that too.
Also, it explains why the Ken's emails arrive at 8:05 a.m. because a lot of scheduling happens at 8 a.m. But yeah, then that's the truth, right?
So did any of you manage to get lucky and snaffle some tickets? I think on our entire WhatsApp group, which contains a lot of people who have been angling for neutral games, hoping that there will be easy tickets to, let's say, England versus South Africa at the Mankading, or Pakistan versus whatever team in some other place. The only person who got lucky was Naveen Madhavan from our group, who managed to get tickets for one of those games in Bangalore, I think.
Pakistan, Australia.
Pakistan, Australia, and Bangalore. So Tariq Laskar, who has been on this podcast many times in the past and is broadly known to be one of the most unflappable people that we all know, one of the calmest, nicest demeanors that we all know, has been put through the ringer by this experience. So I'm going to read out a tweet from Tariq. Tried booking Bangalore game, Pakistan versus New Zealand, and it said sold out. Then I clicked on New Zealand games. So there is a way to go team-wise and book tickets. Right? So then I clicked on New Zealand games. So what I understand is Pakistan versus New Zealand is sold out. New Zealand versus Pakistan, on the other hand. And he posts a screenshot of what he sees on the BookMyShow website. It says the game is to be announced. And there is a description and there's a description for people who don't know. There is some SEO text about New Zealand. New Zealand's journey in the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup is a testament to their resilience and cricketing finesse. They will be looking to go one better than the memorable 2019 Men's World Cup final. So the subtext over here is New Zealand's journey is a testament to their resilience and cricketing finesse. And if you want to watch their cricket, then you better have a lot of resilience and cricketing finesse as well. If you want to go one better than watching it on TV, as you did the last time in the 2019 World Cup. So Tariq, and then it's a series of tweets. The second tweet is, Book My Show should stop selling stand-up comedy tickets. The World Cup ticketing experience is comedy experience enough. How the fuck is this shit so bad?
In caps. How the fuck is this shit so bad in caps, by the way?
So at some stage, there are going to be more tickets released into the ether, right? So when is that next wave of tickets getting available? Do any of you know? Is any of you trying?
Sounds like COVID.
I know. It's not even COVID, okay?
Like...
Okay.
Omicron कब आ रहा है? Omicron कब आ रहा है?
Booster dose चाहिए. Mastercard booster dose.
Covaxin. No, but on a serious note, I mean, to draw a parallel, okay. So my dad recently called up saying that tickets for, if you have to enter Tirumala, which is Tirupati, the temple, a special entry darshan ticket gets released 4 months in advance. So basically the tickets are released on 24th August around like 10 a.m. and for the entire month of November, right? So you have like 2 months in advance. At 10:15 I checked, okay, there were still tickets available for at least around like 3,000 to 4,000 people in one single 1 hour slot to book. And here, Book My Show, which
why
has
are we
more
trying
traffic,
to break this logically? The whole point is it makes no fucking sense.
No, because
you're like, this is like same like RCB, this thing only. If Lucknow loses and if this gets rained out, and over here, if Ashwin Mankar's in the 18th over,
and the Congress wins the elections in Bihar.
Congress wins the elections.
RCB can make it to the playoffs.
Somehow generative AI has a great use case for becoming a calculator or predicting ticket sales.
Right, you are there, no? So, in fact, the ticket sales for the World Cup are so above board and the demand is so high that even BCCI officials have given up trying to get tickets for these games. The BCCI president Raja Binni and evergreen BCCI all-star official Rajiv Shukla have given up on the World Cup and have decided to whet their appetite for live cricket by going to Pakistan for the Asia Cup games. Guys, there is an Asia Cup that's coming up before the World Cup. So, how are you all gearing up and preparing for that tournament?
I think there is a camp that's happening in Alur or somewhere. And there are daily reports from that camp that are published on Cricinfo. And I think the only one defining feature every day is everyone is watching KL Rahul's fitness like a hawk. Like, there's a niggle appearing every now and then in different parts of his body. And I don't know. I mean, it's just at this point, it's completely frivolous how much we want that guy in the 11 and how badly he seems to get injured. I'm not sure if he'll make it to the Asia Cup. They're already carrying, I think, Sanju? Are they carrying Sanju as the reserve keeper? So, yeah, I mean, I just hope that it's not like a false alarm in the sense that he gets into the Asia Cup, does well, and then right in the middle of the World Cup, he manages to injure himself again. I don't know what he's made of at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the situation here is so grim and so, nation wants to know Arnab territory that Sunil Shetty and one of KL Rahul's biggest detractors or critics, Venkatesh Prasad, took a private jet to Florida, and in Florida, some Venkatramana temple, they have prayed together so that KL Rahul finally brings the World Cup home. I mean, that much attention is there for that guy. So, I mean, truly built of legends. I mean, 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line, there'll be a lot of KL Rahul myths written. Probably you'll have an MS Dhoni style movie about him. One can take a wild guess. And the most defining feature, though, for me, Choppy, about the whole Alur practice was the fact that the first day or first 2 days, a couple of the press reports were only about the cops who were standing outside saying that, hey, there'll be a lot of common people who will come in, take photos.
बंदोबस्त नहीं
मिलेगा. तो इसके लिए हम लोग खड़े होते हैं यहाँ पे. And then what happens is just the first 2 days is that, and then suddenly you have posts appearing on Instagram about some challenge or whatever, right? So yeah, I mean, just it's been crazy.
Nothing. The most defining thing about Alur is that Alur is basically in that part of Bangalore. You know where the Alur ground is? The Alur ground is behind IKEA.
Yeah.
So while the team is playing over there, Rahul Dravid is sitting in IKEA trying to build a backup for number 4. Okay, so that's all that's happening in Alur. In case people don't remember, Alur was also the same place that the Australian team.
Yeah.
Remember they played with Ashwin lookalike? That was in
Yeah.
Alur. That was the same place. So
Oh.
he's also probably hovering around somewhere there. Because Ashwin is not there. They're looking at him. This guy, Ashwin lookalike ko bhi nahi lenge. Fuck off. Okay.
PGK, that's where you went to play today morning, is it?
Are you that PGK local? PGK is the Ashwin lookalike.
PGK is the Ashwin lookalike.
No, I'm really surprised that they are scared about crowds showing up at the outskirts of Bangalore. I mean, Bangalore traffic is so bad, and by the time people realize they should go to Alur, they'll say, "Chalo,
but Alur has direct metro connectivity, boss. Green line. IKEA के सामने ही उतरता है. पीछे तो चल के जाना है तुमको.
But that only people who are there on the green line will be able to go. No, just like what 700 people. People who got Mastercard tickets, basically. Beauty of Bangalore's connectivity. Like if you are lucky to be near a station, you can go somewhere. That's not very odd. Somewhere you can go.
Something and all he's saying, somewhere and all he's going.
Basically, no, but our pehla chronology samjhiye. We have spoken about Alur, but before that, we should start with the team selection, guys. Like the BCCI has become a bit of a laughing stock, right, over the days. But let's also remember they do get some things right now and then. After many years of team announcements where you did not get any information, any press release, whatever, this time we actually had the captain and the chief selector addressing the press to explain their selections, except someone actually forgot to release the team sheet only. And the first time the press got to know the team was by watching Star Sports, where they suddenly put the team out and said, this is the team. And there was a mistake in the team that was put out on Star Sports because Shubman Gill was initially left out of the Asia Cup squad, and then he was hastily added into that graphic. And so you had people like Mufa and Johns getting very confused. And every people started like think pieces started coming out. It's a good decision to leave out Gill and give him rest for the World Cup also, which were hastily deleted after that. But what did you guys make of the entire press conference, guys? With
I think we are crying about World Cup and ticket schedules, etc. We are happy with a captain and a coach announcing the team. We are so down to earth. Like there's no expectation from BCCI only. But I think it's a good team. I'm very personally, I thought it's a very good selection, and I want to ask you all a question after we discuss that there are 17 people that have been selected. Probably 15 people will go to the World Cup. Who are the 2 people you want to be left out?
Who want to be? One of them who's going to be left out is Sanju Samson, because they're going to find some roundabout way to not.
No, Sanju is not in the 17. Sanju is a backup.
Yeah, seven. He's 18th.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah. No, I first of all feel KL Rahul might not go to the World Cup at this rate. Like all these niggles popping up in different corners of Bangalore. Like Pops mentioned, one of them is going to put him out of the World Cup. So let's get prepared for that. So Sanju Samson might actually make the squad. So who knows? It's actually 18 who are the 2 that won't make it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, so if for instance, they assuming KL Rahul is fit, which is actually a big if, not because of his batting, but because you expect him to keep as well. So that is not that easy. In fact, around a week back, I was probably thinking that maybe Shreyas Iyer may not make it, but KL Rahul might. But now it looks like it's the other way around. Because as we all know, Shreyas Iyer batted for 50 plus 38 overs in the practice match. Okay. So, so I'm thinking. So I feel like if they have to drop 2, it has to be a batter. It has to be a fast bowler. So it'll probably be Sky. Sky will be 1, maybe. And the bowler may say, I don't know, maybe Prasidh, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Prasidh's just coming off an NCA stint, right? So could be that they'll keep him as a backup. I mean, you can always get any of these folks in, right? Like, because it's India. Max to max kya hai? Charter flight piche hi.
If you leave out Prasidh, then you only have 3 fast bowlers and Shardul Thakur in the World Cup squad.
But
which might,
I'm assuming that, Bumrah probably will not play all the matches.
Correct.
All the,
correct. I agree.
So he will be hopefully we'll reach the last 4 stage and he'll be utilized there more and probably use
like
some of the
Srishant,
matches.
like Srishant was used in 2011 final. They saved him for the final.
Yes.
Workload management.
But then we might require, I mean, if you look at the 11, it's difficult to accommodate Siraj, Shami, Bumrah together if we are playing 3 all-rounders also. I don't know if Aksar gets to play. But Prasidh might be
I don't think they'll
option.
play. I don't think they'll play all 3. They'll play 2 of
Yeah.
them, and they'll expect Shardul and Hardik to take care of the others.
No, but here's the thing, right? Look at all their key games are in like
Spin-friendly pitches.
Spin-friendly pitches, right? So I mean,
True.
I would still say there's a chance where all the three spinners may play. I mean,
All 3 left-armers.
बोल नहीं सकते बस. They'll do dimensions, grounds and whatever, right? Like Ekana is a pretty big ground. We discount that fact, right? Like outside of the spin friendly tracks, it is not a small ground by any measure. So the same with the new Motera. And obviously, Chennai mein kya hota hai. So yeah, I mean, you never know. And it's only to the later part that they get to the more balanced pitches. I mean, suppose a tentative schedule ke basis pe bol raha hu main, which is not the final schedule. So yeah, I mean, there's a case for here being the spinners taking a bulk of the load during the first half of the tournament, and then suddenly, you kind of find that right balance, which is kind of what happened in 2011 as well, right? Like just the first few games were in Bangalore. And then I think after that South Africa loss against Nagpur is when they started playing on more sportier wickets of sorts. Right. And I think India-Ireland was also supposed to happen in some other venue, but got shifted to Bangalore at the last moment. There was something like that, if I remember correctly.
But there was an interesting discussion on Cricinfo that, every team has multiple left-handers. So would you want to play Jadeja and Aksar in the same team when you also have Kuldeep? So, I mean, they might get hit for multiple sixes is
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, the 3 left arm spin options are worrying me a little. It really is worrying me a little. Like 2 is fine, 3. I mean, I know they're all different in their own way, and I get all that, but it still worries me a little.
But if you don't play 3 left armers, then again you have that same problem of after 6, it's all like 8, 9, 10, 11 is basically number 11s, right? So Akshar and Jadeja, I would still give them that higher numbering or that ranking because of their batting capability. Obviously, Jadeja is on like a purple patch like no other, and Akshar can bat. I mean, I would rather have Akshar more as a batting all-rounder at this point rather than a spinning all-rounder, which is kind of what has happened to that poor guy in tests, right? Usko always come over ही मिलता है, वो तो सिर्फ batting करने के लिए रख दिया उसको test में, right? And use it like that. It might be a fair shot. See in one game. If it doesn't work. You always have backups.
I think this group has already discussed the selection.
That happened last episode itself, Mata.
Yeah.
And then the BCCI responded saying, "Yeah, ये लोग बहुत बात कर रहे हैं." Press conference.
Choppy, you leave all this. You talk about the press conference, man. What do you think about Rohit Sharma and Ajit Agarkar in the press conference?
So beautiful. I mean, Rohit Sharma press conference box office. Like you put him. I think he should be the one who announces teams and squads for all 15, 20 jitna bhi team khel rahe. He should be the one. Like. I remember that zinger from him last time when someone asked him after Pakistan had lost to India that, if you were the Pakistan coach, what would you do? And he's like, agar main bana, to bataunga. Ab kyun bataunga? I think that could just be the biggest contribution that he makes to, India's World Cup this year, World Cup campaign this year, the press conferences. I don't think Kohli, etc., when they come to press conferences, have that kind of humor about them, and Rohit is just another level. I also remember he said that Rohit Sharma or Kohli bowling dalenge abhi, and that was also like he said it in that way where he's almost challenging himself and Kohli to do something while knowing that nothing of the sort is going to happen. They're still going to
wait till the World Cup. You wait till the World Cup final. when you're 150, the opposition is 150 for no loss after 18 overs, and Rohit and Kohli come on to fill in for the spinners who are getting smashed. It is going to happen.
But I think one of the points Agarkar I think explained for 2 minutes how they have made the selections etc. And after that Rohit comes and says, "रुको, मैं समझाता हूँ." नहीं समझना जरूरी है, इसलिए मैं समझाता हूँ.
He's basically corporate uncle.
The other good thing is that I think Agarkar, because he spent a significant amount of time in the media, like as an analyst, etc. Fine, granted, not as a very good one, but whatever. Okay, he spent some significant time there. I think that helps a lot as well, because then he understands at some level what people are looking for. And he's like, fine, you don't want to avoid this, let's have some fun. And that will be the story tomorrow. He knows that. Which is why when Rohit was talking about this, when he says Sharma and Kohli bowling back, you can tell at that time Agarkar is like, first time I'm hearing about this. So what do I say now? And then Agarkar is like, chalo, I'll also jump into this. And Agarkar is like, yeah. We have convinced them to bowl. And then Rohit is like, when did you convince them? We are making stuff here as we go along.
BCCI's PR... BCCI's PR team is gonna have like a field day, man. I mean, poor Pawam souls at this point. I mean, given what all they're facing, and now there is this one additional thing to add.
Hey, what BCCI PR team? BCCI PR team does not say sorry when they move match from Dharamshala to Indore.
BCCI PR team is Rajiv Shukla, by the way.
Yeah,
the man who is everywhere.
Somebody would have said no. Like, should we say sorry? Should we? No. Sorry, क्यों बोले? क्यों बोलना है sorry? मत बोलो sorry. Okay, fine. No,
it's that hit Hindi film. No, PR किया तो डरना क्या?
PR Mansingh.
PR Mansingh.
No, I just want to comment on the Gill exclusion and inclusion. See, basically they wanted to prepare the team for when they are under a lot of pressure. And being under a lot of pressure is like being under a lot of water, like in the sea. And so they have to leave Gill out so that the others also learn to breathe underwater.
This is exactly what happened. Because original Asia Cup schedule, where was it supposed to happen? It was supposed to happen in Pakistan. Where there is not a drop of rain. So they're like, चलो पूरा dry है, हमको गिल नहीं चाहिए, तो गिल नहीं लिया. फिर last minute में तो shift हो गए India's matches to Sri Lanka, where there is always rain, Niyamai, Sri Lanka, Mata, ODI. So there you need a gill. So then they included him back. But Rohit also, by the way, confused the crap out of everyone. Huh? He spoke a lot. It was very entertaining and all. But if you actually dig one level deep, he like... So one thing that he said is... If you look at the Indian team, the last few years, biggest problem has been the very fixed top 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you have anchors coming. Kohli will not bat out of position. Rahul will bat wherever, etc., etc. Rohit will open with Rahul. So, and then Rohit comes and says, I want this team to make sure everyone is okay to bat anywhere. And then people start like, no, Kohli should bat at 4, this, that, everything happens. That's one thing to keep in mind. You need flexibility, guys who can step up at any position. No one should say, I'm good at this position, that position and all. And then he said, this is the message that we have conveyed to every individual. And then he threw a googly. In fact, not now. This is the message we've been conveying for the last 3 to 4 years. I'm like, dude, what is this message you have conveyed? We have never seen this in action.
No. Then he takes it one step further. On that same topic. Then after that, what he says is, he says, okay, all this is fine. So people are like, okay, so it means anyone can bat anywhere. Then a journalist arises in. He's like, Ruk, हम पागल नहीं है. Okay, ये पागलपन नहीं करेंगे अब. ऐसा नहीं कि 8 को 1 भेजा है, 8 को ऐसा हम नहीं करेंगे. Okay, he's like, okay. So he says, देखो, Gill and Sharma will be 1, 2. That is fixed. Okay. Kohli will be 3. That is fixed. Okay. Iyer will be 4. That is fixed. Okay. KL will be 5. That is fixed. Uske baad, okay, you have told others.
We will flexible.
And then after that, what is left? What are you going to do after that?
Game. I mean,
I don't know why he gave that example. He said, हम पागल नहीं है जो हार्दिक को ओपनिंग भेज देंगे.
Hardik was listening to all this and like he was fully prepared by that time that मैं तो opening जाऊंगा and like explaining it also and opening करके आया मैं.
Opening करके आया मैं. I mean, this much retconning not seen since any Christopher Nolan movie or like even the plot of Tenet, right? Like, सिर्फ 5 to 8 में हम लोग flexible करेंगे. Madness only.
Rohit also said, it's not like we go to sleep giving a position for a certain player and then change it the next morning. अगर तो night out मारा तो.
Sandy.
Or
you-
agar like Ashwin, if you sleep at the wrong time zone.
this is exactly why
sleep at night. It is sleep
this-
at night where? Like-
This is why Ashwin doesn't sleep in the night, because he knows that team might change. So he takes the team sheet. He confirm, no, I'm there in the 11 tomorrow. I'm playing. Chalo, okay, man. I'm going to stare at the sheet and stay awake for the rest of the night.
Extremely serious question that I have. Seeing all this harakiri and banana peel tripping that is happening, you do seem to feel that there's a case for Ashwin's inclusion there.
PGK has already
or is
said
that-
it. PGK has already said he is
Boss,
uncomfortable
this?
with these 3 left-arm spinners. It is
Like
of course, it is
what
coming.
else do you need? I mean, that is the editor's note that Nitin will add later.
Narrator's voice.
No, I mean, look, obviously I would like to see him play, but the thing is that I'm also like, it's been very clear that they don't expect to keep him in, and that's not the team that they want, and that's fine. It's okay. But yeah, but they don't really have a good, like 3 left-arm spinners is a little weird.
I think
So yeah.
Strangely,
Kuldeep?
because I think Yuzvendra Chahal in 2 minutes of madness, unfortunately, which entirely not his doing, where he came out to bat and then was sent back for the debutant instead.
Correct.
As I think pretty much put pay to his hopes of playing the World Cup, because I think the fact that he's such a bunny, and that's how the team management and everyone sees him, is very clear, and he can't field either. So Chahal is completely out of the picture now, which leaves just one specialist spinner in the squad, right? Which is Kuldeep Yadav, who anyway blow hot, blow cold. Suddenly he's had a couple of decent years. So like, chalo, aa jao. Let's not forget that he got hammered in the last World Cup also, when England went after Kuldeep and Chahal in that game. So you really have one specialist spinner, and then you have Jadeja and Akshar. Akshar, of course, like we say, very similar to Jadeja. So there's definitely room for one spinner to sneak in there somehow. There is, of course, Ravi Bishnoi also waiting in the wings, and Ashwin. Who knows? By the end of the Asia Cup.
I think Kuldeep does have a bit of an edge over the other two, because he takes the ball away from the lefties. And I think after not having done it for many years now, the team management is going to be really flexible about how they structure their bowling lineup, given who the opposition is. If you have more lefties, Kuldeep has a game, and if you don't, then Kuldeep doesn't. I think it will be more of horses for courses. At least in the Asia Cup, they'll probably make the return.
No, they'll have to play Kuldeep everywhere, of course.
I think they'll play
How will
Kuldeep
they not-
everywhere. Yeah.
How can you not play Kuldeep? Who will
Yeah.
you play as spinners? Even if you have 2 spinners, you'll go with Jadeja and Akshar as your 2 spinners.
Yeah,
They will have to play one specialist spinner will play everywhere,
One-
especially given the pitches where India is playing.
I think
One
so.
specialist
Even I
spinner
think
is in, and that right now seems to be Kuldeep.
Yeah.
I think they should
And-
just go in with Akshar and Jadeja as well. I agree, if there are too many left-handers, then don't bowl
I
them.
feel
You
like
have
they'll
full
keep
Hardik
swapping
instead.
between. Yeah, they'll keep swapping between Akshar and Shardul depending on the kind of a pitch
Yeah.
to fill that all-rounder spot. But I think Kuldeep will play every game. That's
And
what
I
is
think
gonna
they'll
happen.
pull a rabbit out of the hat in one of those games in the Asia Cup, where they send one of these guys who's probably a better batter among the bowlers at number 3 or 4. I think they're going to try
Yeah.
something like that.
So,
Correct.
Is that the flexibility that Rohit was talking about?
Hardik is actually going to open in the opening game of Asia Cup. Googly is going to come.
Arey,
What
but
do you feel about Tilak Verma, guys? Tilak Verma has been included in the one-day team for the first time. So close to the World Cup. He's barely played. I don't know. Actually, somebody should check.
I think
too
it's
much
on.
of
He's on
listing.
debut. He's on debut. ODI debut.
Yeah,
And,
ODI debut. Yeah.
ODI debut, but I don't even know if he has much list A cricket behind him. So
List A, he's played. Decent
List A.
amount he's played.
let us fact check Chops. Confidence. Go on.
I'll
Til-
tell you.
No,
So
I'm checking.
Tilak Verma. Tilak Verma as a batter in List A has played just 25 games, but he averages 56. Okay,
Yeah, that's enough.
at a
Hey,
strike rate
Pujara
of
averages more in list A.
exactly at an
So
average
take him.
of 100.
You'll take him, huh?
Sorry,
I
at a
will
strike
take
rate of
Pujara.
100.
Yeah.
Really, that's
Decent.
it? I mean,
Oh, we have now reached the stage where we see average 56 strike rate 100. You're like, yeah, chatti lag raha hai mujhe. I'm not feeling confident.
I mean, List A you would think a strike rate at least would be like 120 is what you're expecting.
Not really, dude. Not really. I mean, the ranked turners. Have you even seen some of the pitches? It's like it's ranked turners in grounds like Alur, grounds like B grounds of all major cricketing stadiums are like ranked turners. They just favor like fast.
But who
bowling.
were the bowlers?
No, I honestly don't think. Again, I mean, list A cricket, etc. People don't look at. He's done well in the IPL. After that,
We're
he's
not
done
even
well
seeing
in
one-day
the
cricket.
T20 format. He's done well, and that's enough for white ball inclusion at least.
Bhai, if that is the template, then why don't you even include Rahane in the squad, right? Like, which you actually were so happy to do it for the test.
I knew
right?
this was coming.
Sandy
Okay, I
is
was
here,
waiting.
Ra. Do you not have fear of God or what?
Another 2 minutes, we'll be talking about Dhoni. We'll be talking.
By the way,
No.
if Rahane had scored runs in West Indies in the test matches, he would have made it
He
to
would have
the
made
limited
it.
overs
He
team.
would have
He will be
made it.
playing the World Cup. The fellow just screwed it up. I think he doesn't want to play. He just wants to play IPL. Hey, test cricket itself, I think he got confused when they called him. Like, oh, kya hai?
Yeah. He was expecting that after IPL he'll be included in next year's T20 squad, but they called him for Test cricket. But
Yeah.
I'm coming back to Tilak Verma's point. He actually also bowls off break. Right arm.
Oh,
सैंडी जी जब हंस के बोला मेरे को लगा था कुछ ट्विस्ट है यहाँ पे.
And in one of the matches, he has taken
actually,
4
yes.
wickets or something.
Yes, yeah.
He has
not
a very
bad.
good bowling record also.
Very good. He has total 8 wickets, I think. But
20,
He's
20,
not a
20.
boss. He has
That's
bowled
8 wickets
200.
more
He has
than-
bowled 230 balls. Let's take cricket. Let's be clear. Very good. Oh, kya baat.
yeah, and he has total 8 wickets, and 4 of them came in one match. So out of the 25 matches. So,
But has he?
Who
has
are
he
the
picked-
batsmen? Exactly.
And let's not forget, as Samo has told us, they were ranked turners. So if off break is turning, then that means nothing.
I actually think
Dude,
they'll give,
he-
they'll
by-
give
oh,
Sky. Sorry, go on.
By the way,
Oh,
he
God.
bowled against West Indies in Lauderhill
Yes.
in the T20
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Oh, you all
Yeah.
watched. Okay, only I didn't know that. Sorry.
I mean, I didn't watch, but I saw that he bowled well and he got a couple of wickets. But I think they're just going to take a choice between Sky and him. So they're just waiting for Asia Cup. I think Sky will get 1 or 2 chances, maybe against Nepal, and they'll say, please at least now hit something so that we can like keep you in this team. And there also he will probably fail. And then they will probably get in Tilak. Because right now, the only reason why what you're thinking is, assuming Sky plays at 4 and KL plays at 5, then you're looking for a backup for 4 and a backup for 5. So your backup for 4 is between Sky and Tilak, and your backup for 5 is Sanju and Ishan Kishan. But I don't think he can play at 5.
Yeah,
don't know what they're gonna do.
I love how PGK's like eyeballs, go up into his head when he's thinking of all the team combination. It's like soon it's going to be Dhritarashtra level in the Mahabharata.
Or Sanjay, tell me what's happening in the stadium. Bolo, I don't get tickets. OTP nahi mila. Please tell me stadium ke andar kya ho.
Why would you ask Manjrekar to tell you that?
because it's the Bits and Pieces podcast.
And we're talking about Jadeja's place in the team.
Jadeja's.
But I mean, will KL Rahul keep? I mean, given his
He has to. No one
Will
else
they
will
keep KL Rahul?
He
I
has
mean,
to
he-
keep.
No.
he's injury prone, then we are
I-
making him keep. And
If he plays,
he
it will
has
be
to
only
keep.
as a keeper.
Yeah.
No way India are playing Ishan Kishan as specialist wicket keeper.
That's
with KL.
the
Correct.
2003 template. No,
Neither
Sandeep,
of
it's
them
the
are good enough
2003
to play.
template.
Like that.
oh,
If
No,
I
but-
remember. I
no, but
remember Rahul Dravid.
yeah, exactly.
But the issue with that then becomes that your earliest left-hander batsman, that to a replacement comes in at 4 or 5, which means that you are stacked with right-handers and opposition can easily roll you over, right? Like
They have
the
told
earliest
Ishan
would be-
Kishan, boss, not like they'll go to sleep. They'll tell him you might have to open. He will open. That is the flexibility we're talking about.
So,
No,
so
but that also is weird, right? Because Ishan Kishan has never batted below 4 in his entire career,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell. So then if they don't so I think KL Rahul not playing is going to make a lot of problems for India. I think it's a decent squad, actually.
More problems than KL Rahul playing. Can you imagine?
That is true. That is true. That is true. I think KL Rahul not playing, if he gets injured and all that, it makes a lot of problems.
No,
I think now they have a decent team.
What they're
he's
going
the-
to do is the day before the match, they're going to like prop up Ishan Kishan and like make announcements about him, and Rohit is like going to give him some vada pav or something so that the other team starts thinking we have left-handers. And Tilak Verma is already Mumbai Indians, and all of that will happen, and finally we'll just play all right-handers, and the opposition's teams are going to put be put to rest.
This is full Beastie Boy putting chess field pitch thing, right? Like, but in press conferences. No, but I mean, this is truly Schrodinger's cat, right? KL Rahul, Schrodinger's KL Rahul. He plays, then one set of problem doesn't pay, even bigger set of problem, right? Like, he's just crazy.
In the meantime, India played some cricket in Ireland. Bumrah took 2 wickets in his opening over after 1 year of not playing cricket, etc. And there were some players from that Ireland squad who are also in the Asia Cup team who did not join the Allure practice sessions. So the BCCI designed a program chart during the 2-week break for these players who were not part of the Ireland squad. And this chart also came out on Twitter. I think John's posted it. So the chart is very, very complicated, guys. 9 hours of sleep, gym, walking, yoga, swimming, and certain amounts of protein daily. BCCI wants all players to be fit for the next 3 months. This was the post that was posted on Twitter. This is a very good schedule, by the way. Like it's like going to one of those holistic retreats. 9 hours of sleep, man. Like, who wouldn't like that? I think Rohit Sharma also woke up from one of these sessions and only came to that.
I think if they added cycling to it, it would also become Hank Sir's routine.
But dal counts as protein, right?
Certain types of that. Yeah, otherwise Saul Kohli doesn't qualify. Otherwise, that is only protein he gets.
Yeah, I mean, and also dal vada, right? Instead of vada pav for Rohit Sharma. Only explanation.
Anyway, so we are talking so much about Asia Cup, guys, and we are all like know-it-alls as always. So I'm going to throw 2 questions to you to see if you actually know any shit about the Asia Cup at all. Who can tell me who is the defending champion of the Asia Cup ODI tournament?
ODI tournament.
I know it's not Sri Lanka.
India?
No.
Go around the table.
Pakistan.
I'm going to say Bangladesh.
This is not a betting thing, like this is actual. It's Sandy. Don't predict. Come on, this you should be able to do. It's already happened.
Predict.
Okay,
Hey,
it is
India.
India. Does
India,
anyone
okay.
remember what this tournament was, when they won, what happened?
Some Micromax thing, no? 2014 or some 2016 one. I think they beat Sri Lanka in some game.
See, it's happening in
Wrong.
T20 format.
Wrong. So, by the way, this is a very, very...
Wait,
this
this
tournament
was-
has happened in Test also.
No.
In
I'm going to
99,
say this
2000, it happened in...
This happened in Dubai, and
Yes.
Kohli was not playing, and Rohit was captain.
Yes, correct. Now, who can tell me who India beat in the final and how they ended up winning the match?
I am going to say Bangladesh.
Correct.
And I am going to say this was the one in which
This was the Dhoni run out.
no, not that one.
शिवम दुबे खेला था इसमें नहीं वो तो T20 था.
Dhoni
No, I
ran
don't
out.
know.
Are you talking about the T20 World Cup where he ran out Mahmudullah or whatever?
Mustafizur. No,
Yeah.
Mushfiq.
Oh, no. Dhoni
Not
played
that
and Dhoni
bad.
nearly lost us.
Oh,
this
that
match
was a very
also.
nice jersey.
This is the one where Dhoni took until the end or
Yes.
something weird happened.
And then
I
he
remember
got
this
out.
game.
In the end, Kedar Jadhav came and had to
Yes.
get it in
Oh.
singles.
Wow.
So India
Yes.
needed some 10 runs to win in 2 overs, and they took it down to the last ball. And in the last ball, they actually bowled a spinner in the last over. And Kedar Jadhav gets leg byes to win the match off the last ball of the match. So 1 run to win last ball. He spears a Yorker on leg stump. The ball hits his pad, runs away to the fine leg boundary. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I think, is the non-striker, or I think he got out just before the...
I mean, in
ending of the
Sandy
game.
G's defense, no one could have predicted this.
I saw this highlights playing on TV and I'm like, I have no recollection. This was literally like watching a new game. I have no idea. Biting my fingernails and enjoying this match. The most bizarre game ever.
They
So that
played
was
in
the last
Dubai.
time. This was
Yeah.
it was supposed to happen in India, but Pakistan expressed reservations to come to India, so it was shifted to Dubai.
Oh,
This is the-
2020.
So the
20
point of Asia Cup is
2018.
this: it cannot happen where it is supposed to happen, but it is still counted as happening where it is
Yeah.
not happening actually.
So did we have like visit
And then
India
there is a
boards?
visit something ad, visit India, visit
Visit
Pakistan,
India,
visit
Sri
Sri
Lanka.
Lanka. That ad.
I think everything has its own hurdle. World Cup hurdle is you cannot get tickets. Asia Cup hurdle is you
You
don't
cannot
know
get
where it is
venue.
going to be held. You
Wow.
come randomly to a country. You land up in Bangladesh, you land up in Sri Lanka, then you pray. Is this the correct country that I'm playing? Yes.
I have stopped worrying about tickets. I have come back to Dubai. I am sitting here. there is a very good chance I will get to see 3 to 4 games that somehow get shifted last minute to Dubai, which I will go and watch. The odds are far better, by the way, than any of you refreshing Mastercard website trying to get tickets.
Agreed.
Agreed, man.
I just want to make one point on Asia Cup. So we are saying that the grounds aren't fixed, etc. It happens in some other countries. So Pakistan is currently playing Afghanistan in Sri Lanka. There are captains from Bangladesh and India there. I think Asia Cup has already started. We just don't know.
We are just living in that world.
Captains from India.
Yeah, umpires from India. Sorry, umpires from India and Bangladesh.
Same difference there. Look at Rohit Sharma. Looks like an umpire these days.
And anyway, Bangladesh umpires play for the Bangladesh team, no? As Harmanpreet has found out.
God.
Okay,
But
here comes
speaking
DK
of
challenge.
Rohit, speaking of Rohit, like you can't make fun of Rohit's physical appearance and use as the body of an umpire and all. Dude, he's like beating Kohli in the yo-yo test. Okay, so some respect, please.
So I was very confused by seeing that. So yeah, Kohli posted what 17 point something.
17.17.
After which the BCCI put a stern warning to the players not to post private information on social media or something like that, right?
Yes.
But Rohit's score got leaked. Did Rohit post it or someone else posted it? I think
Johns must have posted.
Johns ne dala tha.
But Rohit's score was 19 point something, if I remember right. So now
So
I have
more
a
is better.
question. That's exactly my question. What are we supposed to do here? How do
No,
we interpret?
more is definitely
better.
better. More is definitely better. So
How many?
So basically, the way it works
Okay,
is
go for it.
So the way it works is it's essentially you have these two cones at a certain distance, and at a certain point you start running. So you run to one side and you come back, and that one length is called one shuttle. So basically, as you keep doing it, you have to do it faster and faster. And Kohli doing 17.2 is actually quite interesting because he himself has set the score. The cutoff for the Indian team is somewhere around, say, 16. You need to do a minimum of 16. And 17.2 is actually like, it's harder. It's not that he did just more than the basic. It's actually harder. But apparently for other teams, and India having 16 as a cutoff is actually low, because teams like New Zealand, Australia, the cutoff is actually closer to 19, is what I'm told. So technically, if this was Australia, well, Kohli would not make it and Rohit would. Okay.
Well, the key is to do exactly how much is enough. This is like MS. So Kohli is a Dhoni disciple, right? So you take it down to the 50th
minimum.
over, do the bare minimum. It's not like going to Gambhir these random things. But I have a theory why Rohit did so well. The moment they kept cones, he thought they're ice cream cones, and he ran very fast and probably tried to eat them up.
Someone posted a meme of how Rohit got a better score, and they posted the video of the movie Dictator, where the dictator keeps on shooting everyone while he's running to
Aladdin.
So everybody passed the yo-yo test except for KL Rahul, who was exempted from having to participate in it. But KL Rahul fielded for kept wickets for 50 overs and batted for 37 overs. And
That was Shreyas Iyer, no?
Oh, he's also keeping
Shreyas Iyer.
Wait. Where did you hear this?
Probably on our WhatsApp group from one of you guys.
Because BCCI said this about Shreyas Iyer. He batted for 50 or fatted for whatever, one of those 50, 38. No. So the reason I'm asking is because...
Must be a DLS shortened match.
Did they say again? Did they say the second time? Like, this time, no, KL also batted 50 and 57.
Sorry, no, it was just
I
me
thought they're
mixing
putting
up
out
names.
statistics for who all batted and who all bowled for how much.
On the topic of fitness tests, I have a question. Which Indian cricketer holds the all-time record for the best score in the yo-yo test?
Rahane.
I think it's Dhoni.
It's Yo-Yo Mahesh.
What? Silly master. Okay. Bad smell. Okay. Here comes the next trivia question, Asia Cup challenge to you guys after you performed really badly, except for Chops, who managed to remember the match that we were talking about.
Yeah, I said India won. Hello.
What? Yeah, there are 3 teams to pick from that. If one of you don't get it right, by random guessing. Okay. What is India's head-to-head record in Asia Cup finals against Pakistan?
What is 2-5 or something?
2-5 or 2?
As in
ties.
Pakistan has the higher this one. Pakistan is the
2-5.
better 5-2 in favor of Pakistan.
Pakistan have beaten India 5 times in finals, and India won 2 times in Asia Cup finals against Pakistan, you're saying. Others, let's go around the table.
Okay, Macha, can you tell us the total? Like, what is the total?
That's what. Because he said sometime back is from the 90s also they were playing, so now I'm also getting confused.
Okay, just tell me from 2000 onwards. Forget about
2000.
What's the
I
total
was
from
back
2000?
calculating. No.
that
I was
time.
predicting what had happened in
See,
the 1990s.
they can't have they
Macha.
can't have been more than 6 to 7 Asia Cups at most. And now you're talking India, Pakistan in the final.
And this is only ODIs.
Only ODIs.
No, I'm asking
Only.
T20 old. No, this is
Oh,
format
everything,
agnostic.
Hi.
I am going to
Format.
say after 2000, I'm going to say, have they played each other in the finals?
That's what.
I am going to say 1 to India, 0 to Pakistan.
Okay, Sandy, do you have a guess? Come on, Macha. Things from the past, you're like really disappointing us this time.
Oracle.
Arey, I can't.
If
do it.
Abhishek Chopra is not able to tell us.
Maybe two.
I will say 1-1. I think 1 to
Okay.
India and 1 to Pakistan.
So we have 5-2 from Samir, 1-0 from Abhishek, 1-1 from PGK, and you said 2-2, Sandy.
2-0.
India and Pakistan have never played the final of the Asia Cup in any
Okay.
format ever.
Closest to the right
You
answer.
losers. Don't call yourself Asians. Go to
Macha,
okay, go to
don't
Pakistan. That
edit
doesn't
the
help.
part
Go
where
to
I asked that
Australia.
question, okay? You don't edit the part where I asked that question. Have they played each other like that? I asked.
Trick question and all.
Nothing. You guys don't. You're all like shameful to call yourself Asians. Go to Australia, all of you. Useless.
And me and
Okay.
PGK also logically, reach the answer. So step marks we'll get.
Correct.
Step mark.
Okay.
How did PGK reach the answer?
PGK
No, we
also
try to
asked
at
the
least-
same thing. No, yeah.
Yeah, we try to figure out how many Asia. We said 6 to 7, out of which how many they were played.
Like that.
Unlike this other guy who said 2-5. What is this
5-2.
basketball?
No,
it is.
first-
Okay.
First he said 2-2-5.
I don't know what that is. 2 wins
Hey,
India, 2 wins
2-5.
Pakistan, 5 ties. 5 times Robin Uthappa did bowl out.
Some room number. He was telling some room number, I think. Miyanda to Doshi or something.
Anyway, PGK got a lot of extra marks for explaining yo-yo test in such great detail. So he is exempted anyway. But Sandy, very, very bad.
Arey, I got half the answer right? I said 2-0. So 0 was correct.
winning. All at the end of the day, cricket is the winner. Okay, moving on to other topics. We keep talking about the Mankad every now and then. Same old arguments get how do you pronounce that word?
Arachamao, Macha.
Same old
If
arguments.
you try it
get
again, it will come out
repeated.
right now. That's the fact also.
Regurgitated. It is like, okay, this is the punchline. It is like chewing the Mankad. That is what I was going for. But anyway, so some people say against the spirit of cricket. Some say a wicket is too much of a price to pay. Make it a one shot. Even with the threat of losing the wicket, the batter is still stealing yardage, and you're saying just make it a one shot. But anyway, there was a Mankading incident in the Afghanistan versus Pakistan game. Thoughts, guys? Shadab Khan was the culprit who was dismissed and sent on his way in the last over of the game, and it nearly cost Pakistan the match, but they managed to pull off the thriller.
Well, welcome to the monthly Mankad Arachamao section of Bits and Pieces podcast.
No, the thing that I really like, I feel like if the Mankad is definitely going to enter cricket more and more frequently, I think it's pretty evident that it's going to enter it through Asian cricket, because Asian teams literally have none of the hang-ups that Australian, England, South Africa, none of them have. So it'll be very nice, because it seems like games that involve Asian teams like Asia Cup, etc., now have a very added dimensionality and flavor, which you will probably not see, like even against Australia, England, you will not see that. And even in the IPL, perhaps it'll take some more time, because it still has that mix of international players. So they're all looking around, can we do it? Can we not do it? But I feel like, I mean, come on, game of Afghanistan versus Pakistan Mankad, nobody's even said a thing. That's the best part. Have you noticed it? The thing is not that they did the Mankad.
Normalization.
The thing is, after the game,
Yeah.
everyone is like, yeah, I guess we ran out. Shit, we shouldn't have run. It's okay. That's it. That's just, it's done and dusted. It's over. So yeah, it's quite nice. That I really like. I didn't like the Mankad is fine, but the reaction to it is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the other place where it's going to, or it perhaps already happens quite frequently, it just doesn't make the news so often, is all the associate cricket that happens. There will be 1 or 2 journalists who will, put out that in this match, at this critical stage of the match, crucial stage of the match, somebody did a Mankad. So I think the Australia and England's of the world and New Zealand's perhaps also will be left in the lurch, and everyone else will be doing it left, right, and center. And I think it'll make for some great viewing and some great heart wringing on the parts of those other teams. The best thing to happen is, of course, for England to face the brunt of it, and I can't wait for it to happen in the World Cup this year in India.
And I don't know if did you guys see this tweet that has been doing the rounds? I don't know if it is real. Most Mankading dismissals by full member teams in international cricket, and somebody has actually put a list. I don't even know if anyone is tracking this, so this is probably entirely made up. But why would we let that stop us from discussing it? So India are on top of the list with 3 Mankads apparently. Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka come next.
This includes men's and women's team both, or just men's?
They have not clarified. It could be.
Probably.
It could be Mankading as well as Womankading. So India 3, Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka 2, Afghanistan, West Indies 1, Bangladesh, England, Ireland, Pakistan, South Africa, Zimbabwe 0. They have apparently never done a Mankad. So yeah.
So wait, hold on. 3 for India.
Wait,
I'm just trying to
international
think.
cricket,
One
This
is...
could be entirely made up. I have no idea. But
No,
I saw
I'm,
somebody playing
actually,
around.
I'm actually trying to figure
Which
it out.
makes
because
it
you
even
can-
more fun to discuss, right?
Exactly. So you wait, what are the Mankading dismissals international cricket that Indians have done? Okay, leave the women's side for a second, because I think this is men's. The most famous one, I think, is Kapil Dev and Peter Kirsten, which is one.
Yeah.
Then is there, I think Ashwin did once at international
No,
level?
that Ashwin
that was
but
an
that
Ashwin
was
did,
like-
and he was recalled.
They
Tirumale
were
was
recalled. Okay,
recalled
that was
by
recalled.
Sehwag. Yeah.
That was recalled.
So then there is
Then
Deepti
who
Sharma
else?
only. I don't remember.
Deepti
it.
Sharma is one.
Deepti Sharma
That's
is
why I
two.
asked in men's and
No, does it include Test cricket? I'm trying to remember if any Indian has done it in Test cricket, which would include Mankad then.
Yeah, of
Obviously.
course.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah,
That's true.
of
We
course.
should include
Because you
Mankad
said
himself.
international cricket, right?
No, it is. Obviously. Why did we? We are okay. This podcast has said it.
but if there is a Mankad in test,
Chops is scoring. Every question Chops is scoring, by the way. He's getting the points each time.
if there is
Correct.
a Mankad in test cricket, would Sunil Gavaskar be happy about the fact that he's trying to steal a single, or will he be mad about it?
Depends on whether the shirt is
zeros
tucked
Sucked
in.
or not.
Convert
Sucked or
zeros
not.
into ones.
Yeah,
zeros into
yeah.
ones.
Full binary.
So this is where Sunil Gavaskar meets TL because both are 0 to 1.
And this is
Wow.
well,
So
logic
it is
design.
Mankad himself, Kapil Dev, and Deepti
And
Sharma.
Deepti Sharma.
Interesting.
Probably. Yeah. Australia, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, I don't recall, but apparently they've all done it.
No, Australia.
Australia
I remember
is-
this guy has done it. Rodney Hogg, I think, has
Correct.
done it against someone.
No,
Someone's
and
actually
also
keeping
I
track.
think Australia did something in like the 30s and 40s that time as well. It wasn't seen as such a big taboo, and I remember them doing something. I think it was an international game, but I don't remember.
You know what makes me very proud about this?
New
discussion?
Zealand, I think they've done it to Botham. Chatfield or one of those dibbly-dobblies of an earlier era have done it to Botham
Sri Lanka would
in a
be
test
who?
match.
Sri Lanka would be who? Mendes.
Sachitra Senanayake.
Senanayake,
Kind of-
possibly. Yeah,
Random.
possibly. Not able to get, no? I'm just trying to think when Sri Lanka
That
have
much
done a
cricket we have
Mankad.
also known. But what I was saying is the thing that makes me very proud about this entire discussion. When we started this, you guys asked, does this include Test cricket? Does this include women's cricket? I'm glad nobody asked, does this include IPL cricket? Randomly. At least we agree, full member teams in international
But
cricket.
BCCI does make it a point. I mean, whenever I've watched Syed Mushtaq Ali, they do make IPL a part of the domestic stats. So
That it is, Ra.
Do they call it out separately, or do they say like it's part of listed
domestic
whatever?
T20?
Domestic T20. Okay. Mhm.
But Nitin, to this point, I think we had a discussion in one of the episodes where you were trying to make a point that when a bowler is thinking about Mankading, he is
Yeah.
never having the intention to bowl that ball, right? And it was clear in this, like Farooqi, when he was trying in the run-up only, he had decided that, Shadab can't get on strike. They require 11 of 6, and in the run-up itself, he was not intending to bowl that ball
Which,
at all.
which I think
It's
is
fair.
completely fine, by the way. I don't think,
Yeah.
personally, I don't think that's a problem, whether he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it last minute or,
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah, and interesting part is that Peter Della Pena PDP thread, right, which was about the over before the Mankad happened, right, where Naseem Shah was bolting and Afghanistan observed instructions were given to Farooqi to just go do the Mankad, right? Like it's fine. Interestingly, this week also saw Ashwin post a video of a Mankad dismissal in some league game.
Patti
Shield or something, right? Which was decided on a Mankad, and he said, and he posted a thing about how cricket's changing. And there's some very weird esoteric sort of quotes about how it's the way forward and all of that.
Okay, so I'm fact checking live while we're talking about Mankading. So it turns out I have the list of all Mankads in international cricket. Guess what? There is only one team in the world that has not Mankaded anyone else. You know what is that team? One international team.
England.
No,
England is the only team that has never used Mankad in its history. And I'm going to read out the names of
First,
else.
you please tell me how you found this list.
ChatGPT.
Wikipedia.
Oh god.
Okay. The ChatGPT of the 2000s. Okay, anyway. So I'll just say India. India, of course, Vinu Mankad against Australia in 1947-48. The second person to do it from India is, of course, we spoke about Kapil Dev and Peter Kirsten, and the third is, of course, Diti Sharma, Charlie Dean. So that's India. West Indies have done it once in 1968-69 against Australia. It was Charlie Griffith. Right? Who basically did it to Ian Redknapp.
Was his arm straight when he broke the stumps at the bowler's end at least?
Nice.
New Zealand have actually done it twice. Chatfield is one. The second, actually, interesting, happened in Harare in 1992-1993, and it was Deepak Patel.
So again in Indian only.
Sure. Australia have also done it another time. We already spoke about Charlie Griffith. Another person who's done it is, unsurprisingly, Greg Chappell against England 1974-75.
Oh wow.
But Charlie Griffith did it in which year?
No, Charlie Griffith was West Indies.
Against
West Indies. Against Australia. Correct. Sorry, Australia. The other one that happened was Alan Hurst, who did it against Pakistan. I think it's Pakistan in 1978-79. Sikandar
Chops is admonishing himself for getting the trivia wrong. I said hard. No, but you realize Greg Chappell's strategy. If the stumps need to be broken at the other end underhand, then he goes to his brother. If they need to be broken at the same end underhand, he himself does. But always Chappell is doing commentary.
Basically all underhand for Greg Chappell.
Just one trivia about the Alan Hurst dismissal of Sikandar Buck. I think before this incident or after this incident, there is the oddest handled the ball dismissal, which used to be a legit dismissal at that time. So
there is right?
Huh? No, now it's obstructing the field. No, handled the ball is no longer there.
Everything
is handle the ball is no
separate podcast episode. I didn't know this.
Heads and tails ka content pipeline yahan ban raha hai.
No, I think we can fact check it, but handle the ball has been taken out. Now they take it under obstructing only.
Basically, the bowler doesn't get the credit anymore, is it? It's more like a run out. Sorry,
obstructing the field.
Yeah.
I think they just put it under one category. Anyway, the last two, of course, we spoke about. Sri Lanka, again, Joss Butler against England in Edgbaston 2014.
Who did it?
Senanayake.
Can you believe it? I simply said
you could have guessed the batter also randomly, and that would have been Joss Butler. So you would have gotten that as well.
Amazing.
Figured this out.
So this Alan Hurst dismissal. Oh, okay, go on.
Yeah.
No.
Alan Hurst, you tell first.
Yeah.
So there is a Australian batter who hits a ball. Australian batter who hits a ball to mid-off, and the mid-off fielder returns the ball to the non-striker. I mean, to the bowler, but the bowler is Sarfraz Nawaz. He's not yet near the wicket, and so he's not the one collecting the ball. They're not going for a run. The non-striker catches the ball with one hand. And because of this dismissal that has happened, and there's another Rodney Hogg dismissal that has happened, Sarfraz Nawaz appeals for handled the ball by the non-striker, and the umpire gives him out. And that is like the craziest handle the ball dismissal that you'll ever see. There is, I think, video evidence.
Really petty grudge match. You know?
And before this,
Park Bean.
the Rodney Hogg incident is where Rodney Hogg just defends the ball. It goes off to somewhere near silly mid-off. Miyadad or someone is fielding at silly mid-off. He picks the ball, and Rodney Hogg is a tail-ender. He's already outside the crease trying to garden the pitch or something. And silly mid-off takes off the bails. All of them appeal, and the umpire declares it out. And then there is some discussion about the Pakistani captain Asif Iqbal trying to take back the appeal, but then the umpire says, "No, boss, out, matlab out. You can't take back the appeal." And then Rodney Hogg, while going away, smashes the stumps.
Excellent.
Great. So that is hit wicket again.
It is hate wicket. It's hate crime. So PGK,
But-
you were
but-
about to complete.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
list.
PGK.
Yeah, I mean, the last name on the list is, of course, the name that we just spoke about, which is
Farooqi.
Fazal Farooqi, who basically bunkered Shadab Khan. But there is one more thing in this list, which is T20 internationals, and it is two teams. Like I said, everybody has done it except England. Even Oman has done it. It's Mark Chapman by Amir Kaleem.
Nice.
Hong Kong versus Oman, 2016. Very topical. Asia Cup qualifier.
Oh, Mark Chapman was playing for Hong Kong then. Abhi New Zealand mein aake.
Correct. Is this that Mark Chapman?
Yeah, same
Yeah,
guy.
it's
Same
the
guy.
same guy.
Same guy.
Oh. So he's the spy from
Yes,
outside
that's
coming
right.
to Asia.
That's right.
Okay.
It's the same person.
Hey, but lots of PGK.
You know why he why he left Asia, no?
You got
Before the 2018 Asia Cup, somebody asked him Asia Cup trivia and he didn't answer. They said, "Fuck you, you go to Australia." And he went away. Sorry, bad one.
Sorry, Chops. What?
No, I'm saying that I have managed to come to the same list, and while they have not done it on the international stage, the first class list is full of Sussex, Nottinghamshire, Yorkshire.
But I think they haven't done it of late. It used to be something earlier. Like you look at it in the 60s, 70s, it's in the 1800s and all they've done it. But you go to the recent list, you will not see it. Even if you see the recent list, see the recent list, it is Somerset versus Surrey in Taunton. And guess who did it? It is Murli Karthik.
Oh, nice.
Indian is going to England and saying, "Main dikhata hu, I'll show you."
Well done.
And all the
Lovely.
British guys are like, "How are you doing this year?"
The English tried to play their Mastercard, but Karthik was having none of it.
No, Karthik
Murli
had
Karthik has done it again.
employment visa.
Yeah. Sorry, what is it with these Tamilians and like Mankading? Murli Karthik has done it again. Bengal versus Railways in Delhi in
This is how he gets his
2024.
wickets, Ra.
That's how it is.
Oh,
I
wow,
remember.
there is...
I remember in one of the under
Oh my
19.
God.
Correct.
matches.
Nicholas Puran got Mankading in the under 19 World Cup.
No, why?
But-
PGK, why did you not read this one? Instances of Mankading in women's 2020 internationals. Kevin Avino, Rita Musamali, Immaculate Nakasui, and Janet Babazi by Mavinama Douma. Cameroon versus Uganda 2021 ICC Women's T20 World Cup Africa qualifier.
What the hell?
I remember-
Four in a
Fuck,
single
she
game.
Mankading
This was in the news.
four
This
is-
people.
This was
This
in the
is
news.
like-
We should
Oh,
call her
man,
for the
this-
podcast. It's
Yeah.
like,
Boss lady. Yeah,
This
totally.
is next level. Too
But-
good.
Miss.
But coming back to Pakistan versus Afghanistan, the second ODI, just a few things that I wanted to share, and I tried to fact check it with the two scorecards. So exactly 1 year back, there was an Asia Cup match between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And this match, they have very similar, kind of outcomes. So in that
Naseem
match
Shah
also,
hits the winning sixes. Right?
Yes.
That one. Yeah.
but that's not the only thing. So in that match also, Pakistan required 11 of 6 balls of the last over. They were obviously they had lost 9 wickets in both the matches. Farooqi was the bowler who was bowling the last over, and Naseem was batting. Naseem, of course, hit 2 boundaries. I mean, 2 sixes in that and 2 fours in this match to win. Farooqi had taken 3 wickets till then in both the matches. And Shadab was the man of the match in both the matches. And
Sandy J.
just before this match ended, I mean the last ball, Hassan Ali tweeted, exact tweet is, "I can smell it will be edge for 4 runs and we will win." So I think it's pretty safe to say that it is all scripted. That script was copied.
No. What the one that you did not mention, Sandy? Usually, when you come up with this, last year all this pattern repeated. It'll end with last year England won the World Cup. Wait, exactly.
It's for England.
92, Banwe.
Nice.
Oh man, patterns. Pattern recognition is a very big power of subcontinental cricket fans, must be said.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of pattern recognition, they said that in 2019, Chandrayaan-2 was attempting the same landing at the South Pole. It failed and Dhoni got run out, so we lost the World Cup. This time, Chandrayaan-3 has successfully landed, so 2023 we are just going to cross the line.
So this time, Dhoni will not get run out, but India will still lose the World Cup.
India will win the World Cup. What?
I thought only Pakistani fans did this, where they would compare everything to 1992. Yes. You add something and it'll become 92. So this time it'll be like 92.
But we are comparing both victory and defeat, and say that in victory we compare and we say that okay, this happened, this is going to happen. In defeat we said this
justifying this behavior. He's justifying this behavior.
No, I'm just saying we are going to do the opposite of it. I mean, I
remember this happened 2003 final also. Like Mandira Vedi, that 3-hour pre-show, they said, "Oh, 1983 mein ye sab hua, this happened, that happened."
No, the best one. I will never forget this. The best one in 2003 was the winner of the first two World Cups, Clive Lloyd, left-handed batter. Then Kapil Dev, right-handed batter. Then Alan Border in 87, left-handed. Then 92 Imran Khan, right-handed. Right. Then 96 Rana Tunga, left-handed. Then who was it? Australia.
Steve right-handed.
So who's left-handed? Saurav Ganguly. Winning the World Cup.
I remember this one. And then after... So I remember being so dejected after they lost the game. Like I was looking for like the justification explanation.
Spring bat.
Finally, India, Australia, it seems. Like, what is this?
I remember my father saying only if Ganguly had batted right-handed.
No, they would have still not.
But I think pretty much. But I think pretty much that day, the moment. No, but pretty much that day when McGrath took that return catch, everyone just switched off the TV. They were like, no point.
Return catch? What?
That Tendulkar wala.
Tendulkar was not caught by McGrath, no?
He was cotton ball.
He was a cotton ball.
Top edge cotton ball.
I think we lost hope when Zahir Khan gave 15 runs in the first over and started sharing it.
When Ganguly won the toss and asked Australia to play.
I mean, I know you're talking about 2003, but actually for me, the favorite one is Pakistan. When in 2019 World Cup, where they're basically analyzing the sequence of events. Another thing that they said was Inzamam-ul Haq was the breakout star. Imam-ul Haq is and the final ending to the WhatsApp message that everyone is getting hope is that in 1992, Asif Ali Zardari was in jail. Okay. In 2019, Asif Ali Zardari is again in jail.
That is hilarious.
Oh my God. There is hope.
No, the crazy part is it repeated at the T20 World Cup last year with Pakistan.
So this time, Macha, this time it will be no surprise if they think of who was in jail in 92 and put him in jail again. Just for this to happen.
Except they'll find out who abhi bhi jail mein hi hai.
Zardari ko humne jail se nahi nikala kyunki World Cup jeetna hai.
Before the World Cup, one comes to Zardari's house. Sir, you know what's going to happen.
Biryani milega kya?
Oh my
God.
Okay.
Okay, we should... Inzamam-ul Haq and saying, do you have a nephew? Do you have a relative? Anyone?
Ab Raina se baat kar do.
Balcony, Raina.
Talking of funny handling the ball and upsetting the field, Inzamam and Raina are of course connected by an immortal moment where Inzamam defended the ball to mid-off and stepped out of the crease and Raina threw the ball. And Inzamam again.
This press conference, no, this was a post-match presentation, no?
Yes.
Yeah, in the post-match, last time I jumped and they gave me out. This time I blocked the ball, they gave me out. I don't understand this rule.
If I use bat against spectator, that's also a problem.
2006, right? This is
2000. So before we wind up, so Rachana Ramchand, who has been on this podcast, has been following the Women's Blind Cricket World Cup, where the Indian team lost the final to Pakistan yesterday after winning a series of games quite easily against England, Australia, and other teams. So there are some nice voice notes that Rachana sent from Manchester or Edgbaston, I think, where she was following these games as the lone Indian supporter. There isn't much support for women's cricket. She was the only supporter on the field, and she was also mistaken to be one of the players because they didn't expect anyone to show up there wearing an India jersey. So there are some nice voice notes from Rachana we will add to the podcast.
No, hold on. I think the Indian blind men's team
yeah,
came second in the final, but the Indian blind women's team won. They won the World Cup.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
so
nice.
both were happening simultaneously.
Yes, I believe
okay.
so. Although
Yes.
Rachana, of course, went for the women's
Women's
For the
team.
women's game. Okay, so the
women's
women
one-
lost the
the
final
women's
and the
team-
men won the final.
No, ulta.
No, ulta.
The women's
women
won.
won the final. Oh,
So
okay.
women's
Won the final.
won the final against Australia,
Correct.
and
And India
men's-
lost to Pakistan in the men's final.
Yes,
Correct.
yes,
Correct.
yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Cool. But yeah, we'll play those voice notes. It's a pretty nice story from Rachana.
The World Blind Games is happening, and that's the Olympics for blind people. Cricket is a part of the games list. And when I heard that women's cricket in particular is being played and the India team is here, I was like, I have to go. So I made it to Birmingham last Sunday for India's maiden match against Australia. And it was an incredible day. First of all, what's blind cricket? It has all of the conventional sporting rules of cricket with some nuances. Of course, the players are blind and the game is adapted accordingly. And each team needs to have a certain number of completely blind players. The bowlers bowl underarm. So, again, a big difference from cricket. And the ball has a bell inside. So, it is a very verbal game. People are constantly, shouting and giving people verbal cues before the bowler bowls. They have to ask the batter if they're ready before bowling. I went a bit early for the game and I was the only spectator from India. There were some 5 to 6 Aussie supporters. And I was wearing the India jersey and people thought that I was a part of the India team and would come and ask me questions. I was like, no, I'm just a supporter. It was also interesting to be a part of their world and, their jokes, their sense of humor. So, for example, there was a ball that was thrown to one of the girls. The ball stopped a few feet in front of the girl, and so she couldn't hear the ball and she had no idea where the ball is. And the team is like, 2 step aage, left, right. And she's like, "Arey ball ka hai?" And they're all laughing and she's laughing as well. And, just moments that you wouldn't usually expect. And then the match began. I was literally on the field at the boundary line walking around and nobody seemed to mind. And I also think that some of them thought I was perhaps a part of the team because the referee came and asked me once, who's bowling? And I'm like, yeah, I have absolutely no idea. India's bowling fielding on point. We restrict Australia to 58 runs in 20 overs and had a very straightforward first game. But the next 2 games in particular, second match against England, India went all guns blazing, scored 268 for 2 in 20 overs. England lost the match by 185 runs. And third match on Wednesday, India thrashed Australia by 163 runs, still dominant and into the finals on Saturday. While watching the match, I ended up striking conversation with the coaches of both the men's and the women's team. And just talking to them about, stories from their past, what they've witnessed. Yeah, it's really heartwarming. A lot of the work that they've done and the stories of the players. And one that came to my mind is the story of Jilly. So she's 13 years old. She's from Orissa. And both her parents died a few years ago at a young age. And she's a daily wage laborer. 250 rupees a day is what she earns. And she's 13. And she was seen playing cricket, I think, in the field or something with some of her friends. And since then has been spotted and now plays for the India team and is in UK right now playing the finals. What did surprise me though is how blind or disability focused cricket is managed in India versus other countries. So with both England and Australia, this is the disability wings are a part of the England Cricket Board, are a part of the Australian Cricket Board, and part of the revenues that they get through usual cricket is funneled into these wings. In India, it's not like that. The Blind Cricket Association is separate. They have to fundraise separately. They've had conversations with Jay Shah. Apparently for the past 2 years he's been saying yes, we'll bring it in, but nothing has really happened. And so for this tournament to participate in the World Blind Olympics, they needed to spend £150 per day per player, and the Blind Cricket Association couldn't afford it, and so they were initially wondering if they could even make it. They could afford only £50 a day. The ECP was like, no, we want both your teams to come down, and the England Cricket Board is funding our team. They're paying £100 per player per day. I am hoping with the performance of both the women's and the men's teams in this tournament that there's a greater focus on inclusion in cricket, on disability in cricket, and BCCI do something about it. Well, that's it from me.
Yeah,
Anything
I would
else,
like to
guys?
have Rachana, like she's not here, I think this week and next, but maybe after that, would love to have for her to come and describe how she saw the game, how they played. I think it's very fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll forward her. Actually, I'll send you guys the entire voice note. She sent me 5-6 of them. They're quite nice. Might not put all of them in the pod because it's totally about some 6-7 minutes. But but I'll send it. She just, I think, recorded and sent it to me. So I just forward.
Makes sense.
Anything else, guys?
Tickets kisko milega? Who's even going to attempt India tickets? Because I think one batch opens up tonight.
India tickets.
27.
Afghanistan versus Nepal में नहीं रहे इसमें क्या है?
Fine. Mastercard will email you after the game is over, saying tickets are available.
I think we got the Trevor Noah tickets faster. It was
Even I got the Trevor Noah tickets faster. It was easy.
There's an offer also, no? Mastercard or something. Trevor Noah tickets ka bhi offer chal raha hai.
That also Mastercard offer. Huh?
That's
yeah.
all. There is-
That if you buy through Mastercard, you won't get the tickets.
You try to book Indian cricket tickets, they will take you to. Do you want Trevor Noah instead? This is sold out. But if you want to laugh at your pain. So.
No, this is like Netflix. No, people who search for this also search for tickets. No, Trevor. No. All right, we'll close the podcast, guys.
Yeah,
I think
Unnecessary.
last thing, when does the Asia Cup begin?
It might have already started for all you know.
Day after
Please check on Wikipedia and tell us.
Day after tomorrow. So that means I think India playing Pakistan and India playing Nepal. So next week when we are here,
Yes.
we will probably have
wow.
at least one of those two matches to talk about.
India
Wait, on
potentially going to
Wednesday,
play
Wednesday.
Pakistan. Potentially playing
September.
Pakistan 3 times in the next
Yes,
3 weeks
yes.
or so. This tournament is going on for 3 weeks. It might just run into the World Cup for all you know. It's so
No,
long.
wait. India and Pakistan are playing thrice in this
Twice
tournament.
confirmed.
There is a chance that they will play thrice.
Well,
Because
yeah,
India,
it's
Pakistan.
possible one of them don't even qualify to the Super Fours, in which case they'll only play one time.
Correct. Although
But-
that's very unlikely because it's India, Pakistan, and Nepal in Group 1. And the other group has Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan, where somebody's going to get exited there. And then they're going to play Super Fours.
But
or-
Nepal has to win one
But-
game to throw all this.
Exactly.
But we just discussed, right? India, Pakistan never have a final in Asia Cup. So only 2 chances.
There you go.
Starts
But-
Wednesday.
Interesting thing is Tilak Verma has to go and after Asia Cup to Asia Games and play there.
Correct.
Boss,
China,
forget,
Hangzhou.
forget his plight. All the teams except for India are going to Pakistan and then coming to Sri Lanka to play India. Then going back to Pakistan to play their other games. Like what?
Sri
is
Lanka.
There are actually 3 Indian teams. There is one Indian team which is here that's doing the ODI thing. There's another Indian team that's playing in Dublin. There's another Indian team in Asian Games. And our Ashwin is in none of them. So,
Hey, there
yeah.
is also one team in Alur, no?
There is another team in Alur.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
This is Hardik Pandya's dream coming true. But except the fact that everyone's losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we will close the podcast. All right, another very enriching discussion with our friends on the Bits and Pieces podcast today, where we looked at Wikipedia and at other Chat GPT, even Chatfield GPT type resources to find out about Mankading history and Asia Cup history. We'll be back next week after India have played Pakistan in the first of their hopefully 3 games in the Asia Cup, and we'll talk about other things as well. Until then, it is myself, Nitin Sundar, signing off along with Chops, PGK, Samir, and Sandy G. Say bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Recording.